Good morning, everyone. Good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzamos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. In today's video, I'll request you guys to listen very, very attentively. So a lot of you guys are wondering if you have awakened to this madness and gotten out of it. You may have a question in mind. Where is this thing going to end? What is going to be the end game of the narcissist? What will happen to them? And how more people are they going to play for as long as they live? Now I'm going to fill you in on this one. You see, one thing what you have to understand, guys, with the narcissist, when they are young, they are vibrant, they have energy, they probably have a good job, they have some money, they are living well, and the mask is intact. So what do I mean by the mask is that they can usually fool and manipulate as many people as they can along their journey. You know what I mean? But you see, as the time goes on, as the time goes by, the narcissist starts to age. You know what I mean? So they start to age. And when they age, as they age, it starts to become very obvious that they cannot find prey. You know what I mean? They cannot find anybody to prey on. So they can no longer find the same victims they used to find before. When they were younger, you know, they used to find hundreds of them, tens of them, hundreds of them, very easily. They just walk out there, they pick up somebody, they start their game abusing, destroying, manipulating. But when they grow older, their game starts to catch up on them. So whenever they go out, it's like, for example, they say that the narcissist, when they grow older, it becomes almost impossible for them to keep that facade intact. You know what I mean? It's almost impossible for them to keep the mask intact. So every now and then, almost on a daily basis, that mask will always slip. It doesn't matter who is in front of them. And usually, guys, I've told you something. Listen to this one. It's very, very important. I've told you guys something very important. When you live a narcissist, when you have gotten out of their lives and they're out of your lives, people, do all you can. Do your best to make sure that they're not going to keep on looking backwards. You know what I mean? So don't look backwards, because most of the times, when you leave the narcissist, a lot of you guys, you want to investigate. You know, who are they dating? What are they doing? How are they carrying on with their lives? All these kind of things. You want to know. I understand this because, you know, at some point I've been there, guys. You know what I mean? I've been there. And I understand the curiosity you have when you leave the narcissist, because you're very, very curious about their life. You want to know all the details. But let me tell you something, chosen ones, empaths. When you're leaving a narcissist, the reason why we tell you do not look back, because usually you're going to look back and it is going to bring you. So, for example, if you're an empath out there who is trying to move on with their life, you will usually look back and you're going to notice those individuals, they're in very bad shape. And sometimes if you're a real empath who really feels other people's emotions and everything, you're going to usually feel that you really feel bad about that. And sometimes it may even cause you to feel very, very sorry for them. You know what I mean? That's why you see a lot of guys when they're moving on, and then they look back at the narcissist, they're thinking, oh, I'm going to take them back. You know what I mean? It looks like they're struggling. It looks like they're suffering, all these kind of things. Yes, those guys are going to struggle and they're going to suffer. But I can guarantee you guys that as the narcissist ages, it is going to be very, very difficult for them. It is going to be almost impossible. Anybody they catch up with, anybody they meet, those individuals, they're going to catch up on them. So they can no longer play that same game that they used to play when they were with you. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like aging for the narcissist is also mean game over. So usually you'll find them very desperate. You know what I mean? Because, for example, let's give an example. If you've been dealing with a family, a narcissistic parent, family, father, whatever, mother, narcissistic parents. Those individuals, what they do when you catch up on them and you discard yourself out of those families. Now, this one I'm talking to the guys out there who are the black sheeps. When you catch up on your narcissistic parents, what usually happens, the narcissistic parent is going to try to get a lot of people on their side. So because you see, the narcissist knows that at the end of the day, they are going to end up isolated and alone. So they all know how it's going to end. Most of them, they know it. They may not really want to show this to you, but a lot of them, they know it. That things are going to end very badly with them. So normally what they will do, in this case, for example, the narcissistic parent, they are going to make sure that they get a lot of family members on their side. You know what I mean? That's the reason why you see them smearing your name. You know, they destroy your name to the max. That is the time when you're going to see that smear campaign you've never seen before. The narcissistic parent is going to destroy your name. They're going to smear your name. And they're going to make sure the all other family members, they all gang up on you. You know what I mean? So they all become a team. They all become a team to gang up against you. That is because the narcissistic parents secretly, they are afraid and they are scared of isolation. Because remember, when you're living those kind of families, toxic family units and everything, there's a lot of family members who want to know what is going on behind the scenes. So they're going around and asking questions, like I've done in my previous video. I've told you guys, a lot of guys, those individuals in the family, they want to know what has been happening in that family. So they are going around to ask a lot of questions. So the smear campaign usually comes in because the narcissistic parent feels the more those individuals know the truth of why exactly have you left the family, is the more they are going to keep on getting isolated, because it's like none of the family members want to deal with that. You know what I mean? So usually that's why you see they usually try to gang up and bring a lot of family members together so that now they can gang up on one individual, the black sheep who has left the family, because they secretly know from the inside of their minds, they know that at one point in time they are going to end up alone. Because remember, these narcissistic parents, they are aging. Of course, eventually, it doesn't mean that everybody is going to live young forever. Those individuals, they are aging, and at some point, their games and the mask is slipping all the way down. Their games are catching up on them. Nobody wants to believe what they are saying, because it's going to become very obvious when they age. You will see a lot of people trying to distance themselves, because it is exactly that point whereby you're going to see the real hidden image behind the narcissist. The image that they've been trying to hide all along in the public, it is going to become very obvious as they age. It is going to start playing out in front of them, and a lot of people are going to catch up on them. And that is exactly why you see a lot of people, they're usually distancing themselves from the narcissist when they grow older. You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter if it's your family, or sometimes it has been your friends. It doesn't even matter in relationships. You're going to see the more the narcissist ages, is the more people distance themselves from them, because they can no longer keep at the mask. They have got to wake up every single morning, and they've got to bring out that narcissistic image out of them. And a lot of people around them in their unit, they are going to usually catch up on them. So usually when you're talking about the end game, the end game of the narcissist, it does not usually end up very well with them. You know what I mean? So the narcissist, sometimes you'll see them on their deathbed. A lot of you guys who have had the opportunity and the chance to see them when they're aging, you know, towards the end of their life, you have seen them having a lot of regrets. The narcissists on their deathbed, let me tell you something, they are going to have a lot of regrets. They are going to always think about those things they should have done, the way they should have treated people, and they didn't do that. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that, and now they're living with a lot of regrets. Because at that moment, they're on their deathbed, they're just waiting to die. So probably they've got very, very serious illnesses with their health issues, serious illnesses, and they're just waiting to die. That's when you're going to see them. They're going to struggle. People, let me tell you something. I've told you guys, when you're dealing with a narcissist, be very sure those individuals, they're going to get exactly what they deserve, and exactly whatever they have been doing to people, everything is going to come back to them. I've told you guys, do not bother revenging. Do not bother looking back. Do not bother trying to find out things about them. Just keep on moving, guys. I'll guarantee you guys, you're going to look back in time, and you're going to notice you have made the right decisions to walk away. So they live in a lot of regret towards the end of their lives. There's nobody around. They're older. You know what I mean? So they can no longer pretend around, the way they used to do. So a lot of those guys who may be around the narcissist, it may not usually be family members. So sometimes there may be other people from the outside who may come around and take care of them at their old age. You're going to notice a lot of those individuals, they are describing an individual that you've never even imagined in your entire life. The things they do on a daily basis, the words they say, the way they behave, evil ways that you've never seen before. A lot of those guys, they start to bring out that image of evil completely in front of out to the surface, and it is going to be noticeable that these individuals, they are evil. Even if sometimes you as an individual have not seen this in the beginning, it is going to completely be very obvious that those individuals, they are evil, and you're going to get that information from the people who are around them towards the end of their life. So you had better believe that at the end of those entanglements, relationships, family situations, and everything, you have got to better believe things are going to end very badly with the narcissist. Sometimes you might even see cases because as they grow older, like I've said, it's like the mask is all the way down. They can no longer wear that mask they used to wear before and pretend around and lie and do this and manipulate and steal all these kind of things. They can no longer do that. Sometimes those games are catching up on them, and sometimes those individuals, they're even losing their life because they sometimes meet the wrong people, and those individuals, they can even sometimes end up getting shot, or sometimes they can end up getting killed. I personally know a narcissist back in the days. So this narcissist was a sexual predator. So normally, this narcissist this was a guy. He was a male narcissist. So this guy used to feed off of other young boys. You know what I mean? So they would sometimes go around and sleep with young guys. You know what I mean? And most of the times that thing used to go on, and nobody was talking about it because this person was a very, very influential guy in town. So they used to go around and sleep with people, sleep with other guys, sometimes even by force, sometimes by way of manipulation, or sometimes even by force. But I can guarantee you something: at a later point in time, the game that they used to play, that game caught up on them, and those individuals, they ended up getting shot. You know what I mean? Actually, they were not shot. They were smacked. They were hacked to death. They were smacked to death. You know what I mean? The game of the narcissist. You don't want to know. You have gotten out of it. You've let the narcissist. Do not look back. Don't try to find out what they are doing, because a lot of times you are even sometimes going to feel sorry for them, because you are going to see a little child suffering to that extent you have never seen before. You're going to see the narcissist extremely, extremely desperate. They can no longer get the same sex they used to get. Probably they have lost all their money, so maybe sometimes they are going bankrupt, or even sometimes they are bankrupt already. They're no longer in relationships. A lot of these relationships, most of them, people have caught up on them. A lot of guys have left those entanglements. So normally, even sometimes they are alone. You are going to see those guys. Let me tell you something, people. They are going to be put in a desperate situation, a situation they have never been before. You are going to see a lot of people separating themselves away from them. People, they will abandon them. People, they will leave them in their own houses to die. So sometimes you may see these old people. They are somewhere in their houses by themselves, rotting away. And you're thinking in your mind, where is family members? Where are their children? Where is their brothers? Maybe where's their sisters? A lot of family members. Let me tell you something. Guys, I want you to pay close attention to this one. A lot of those old guys, you see them, they're rotting away in their houses. A lot of those guys, they have been narcissists. They may not really tell you this, but they are actually narcissists. And usually, the whole entire family has abandoned them. Their wives, their partners, their husbands, everybody has abandoned them, and everybody has left them alone to die. So that's why you see them, they're all alone, isolated in their own homes, very desperate for attention, and they cannot get it anywhere. Anybody tries to come in, a new person or something like that, the mask is going to sleep, that person is going to leave. Another one comes in, the mask sleeps, that person leaves, because at that old age, they can no longer hold the mask the way they used to do it earlier on. So it is usually, you had better be sure, you had better be rest assured, guys, in this video, you had better be sure that it is usually going to end up extremely terrible with the narcissist. They are going to be very, very desperate. They are going to be alone. They will be isolated, and usually they will die in very, very difficult circumstances, because sometimes even they are dying, nobody even knows about it. You know what I mean? In their own beds, nobody knows about it, what has happened to them. Or sometimes in worst case scenarios, they may end up in a very terrible situations, and they may deal with the wrong person, and that person is actually going to take their life. You've heard about these cases everywhere. They're still even on the news. a person, they may deal with the wrong individual, and that individual may retaliate, and in doing so, they may even take their lives. So, in this video, I wanted to let you guys know, because you guys are wondering most of the times, what is the end game? Where is it going to end? Are they going to play this game until their old age, the end of their life? How many more people are they going to destroy along their journey? I will guarantee you this. Yes, they will destroy people. They have destroyed people even before you. After you, they will keep on going around and destroying people. But at the end of the day, the narcissist knows in the deep of their mind, they're going to end up alone. Desperate. Isolated. Nobody around them. Completely closed off from the entire world. And that is when you're going to see the real face of the narcissist. The real image of the narcissist coming out to play. Because now, they're able to become exactly the narcissist that they are. Without a mask. Without a facade, without lies. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below, guys. Of course, if this video makes sense, you can always leave us a comment in the section below. Let us know what you think, and let us know what is your opinion. Until then, it's been lovely and a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings, guys. Desmos signing out, and catch you in my next one. Peace.